Hey guys, and welcome to the Hobby News. Alright, so we got our previews this week for, I guess, pre-orders for the coming Saturday, and it's Chaos, so that's great. And one of my most favorite things, Beaky Marines for Horus Heresy, which we'll just take a quick look at. Now, we've seen most of this before, but I will go through it with you, and then we'll take a look at something pretty damn cool, and something that will most likely appear on the channel at some point in a painting video, because, yeah, they look pretty fun. But we'll start with this, so let's get into it. So we've got the Chaos book coming, and it's great. I love the cover. I like that, really intense red with the dark silhouette in the front. That's a really great illustration trick and looks really cool. I love magenta colors and I love blues and blue greens. This is the perfect cover for Chaos. And if you've seen any of my painting tutorials, you'll know that. This is a very good composition. It's doing everything that you want it to do, just like you would do on a miniature. So in fact, that color scheme would be really lovely to do on one of these models for sure. So we've got our usual standard book and the limited edition one, and then obviously all the other paraphernalia that you get in a release. So Combat Patrol, the dice and the cards and so on. We've actually got a little art print here, which is not always usual for these releases, but that's pretty cool. It is a really nice piece of art, and it looks like we actually get the artist's signature on this one, which is really nice. So that's actually pretty cool. So I like that a lot. That's a nice touch. And then we've got, I didn't realize this wasn't out yet. Okay, so Genestealer Cults get their Combat Patrol, which is good. I thought they already had theirs, but anyway, that's great. So you've got that one as well. I guess that has some of those new models in it, most likely. Let's have a look. I think it's got at least one of the new models, right? It should have. I can't see. Anyway, but it's nice that they've got that. And then we'll come down to what's really important. So you've got the rules for Horus Heresy, but we've got our Beaky Marines. So this is great. You'll 100% see some Beaky Marines on the channel. I'll be doing some conversions and doing some Dark Angels using, Heresy and early kind of new school and old school. So a combination of Heresy models like Beakies with some new school stuff, combining a lot of stuff for conversion, and using that sort of third edition, Rogue Trader to third edition sort of aesthetic. So I want to use that dark green, but I want to add little things like the checker patterns and the little bands of color down the helmets and all those kinds of little extra, I guess, retro sort of funky little 80s elements that the old Rogue Trader stuff had. Not really Heresy, but Rogue Trader more accurately, and combine those things with the dark green armor. And I think that'll be a really fun Dark Angel project. So by conversion I mean things like just making them more animated, changing poses, doing little conversions here and there to make each of them really fun and interesting. So that should be a really cool project, and I'll definitely show that on the channel. So for anyone that's into just playing around with Space Marines, that should be fun. And then let's see what else they got. So I think we've seen all these. So we've got a few other characters coming, which is nice. All in all, that's pretty cool for Heresy. We've got some dice. These look okay. I'm not a huge fan of very complicated dice. It's very hard to see when you're rolling them, but for those that love that, it's all there for you. And then we've got our usual assortment of books, so that's great for anyone that's into the stories and so on. You've got a whole host here, which is nice. But yeah, all in all, pretty cool. I'm very happy for the Beakies. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure lots of people are looking forward to that, because they've got a lot of character to them, more so than I think any other armor type that's obviously a personal point of view, but I feel like these have a lot of character and unique in their look, just because it's pretty much just because of that helmet, and I think the leg greaves as well. There's just something unique about them that set them apart from the other armor types, and just a lot of fun to do. So all in all, pretty cool. So now let's go over to I think what is going to be a really fun bunch of models, and we've got some Space Dwarves. So they're going to show us what these dwarves look like in their armor. I guess their standard unit, the Hearthkyn. and we'll see what they look like. So here we go. So we saw one of them, but now we've got the whole unit. And yeah, look, this is great. I mean, this guy reminds me of He-Man. This is just like, as my thumbnail title, was poking fun at. He's just getting that power. He's calling on Grayskull and sorting it out. Like, what a cool bunch of models. We've got the glasses on. We've got all kinds of gimmicks happening with these models, which I think are a lot of fun. And for anyone who wants to do conversions and painting and all of that sort of thing, it's got everything that you want for dwarves. We've got the little dwarven emblems and elements from like a fantasy sort of style on these, as well as the futuristic. They're combining a lot of elements here, and it's a lot of fun, right? We've got their little robot helper that's in the squad as well, with a unique weapon there. We've got these I like these sort of visor things with the front exposed so you can see the face. Really cool imagery here. We've got the closed one there with the long rifle. Everything about these, some running. As I said, because we initially looked at these, because they've got a bit more anatomy, they're a bit taller. We actually have some legs and a torso and hips and so on. So we can actually get these guys running, which is amazing. So that's actually really great, because often with dwarves they're so stunted and so small with the sculpt, you don't actually get to see much animation in them. It's very hard to get lots of different poses, but because they've actually got little legs here, we get to see them in lots of different poses, which is awesome. So that's really cool to see as well. And it looks like we have both male and female dwarves in this one, which is cool. I mean, these are clones, right? So they can be anything, and it looks like we are getting male and female, which is really nice as well. Not as I guess the females in this, which I'm assuming they are, we'll take a look at what they say, but I'm assuming it's both male and female. We don't get the classic thing of all dwarves looking the same. We actually do have some feminine qualities as well as some male ones, which is nice, so we get a little bit of difference. But it would be cool to see a few beards here and there on some of the females. But I guess you can green stuff that on, right? But yeah, look, these are great. Like, I like all of the different elements. Not sure I particularly dig the painting of the fiery blades. I don't know why that red doesn't gel with me. Maybe it's because it's too orange red. Maybe if it was more magenta red, it would blend better with this turquoise. That's probably what's jarring me, but the red's sort of clashing a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I mean, I talk about blue, greens, and reds a lot, so that's just something I noticed on these paint jobs, is that the fiery elements are a little bit at odds. I think this magenta here would work better. The little button they've got there on the side of that one's arm, I think that sort of color would work better on those blades than what they've chosen. But that's just a small little side detail. You can paint them however you like. But if you're doing this kind of I guess blue-green, I would probably steer more towards magentas and highlighting that up with white rather than using an orange. Just in the case of those blades and so on, because I think you'll end up with a more harmonious result, and possibly putting a bit more black here and there. I like a lot of black, so that's cool. They've got some here, but a few more elements would be nice. But yeah, all in all, really cool. I like this one here with the the goggles on. I mean, there's so many little tropey elements here but they're all really fun, right? I mean, it's dwarves in space, so you want to see that. It's really cool. So we'll have a look at some of the close-up details now, just to see. So yeah, look, we've got lots of nice little elements there. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so we've got the really classic fantasy dwarven elements coming into this armor, which is really interesting. So I'm wondering how they're going to incorporate more of this into, let's say, some of the bigger mech suits or walkers or dreadnoughts, whatever sort of larger, vehicle type units they have, how this will incorporate into it. Will they be, sort of lined with this sort of thing, sort of engraved elements, or will it be part of the structure? It's hard to say. On these, it's like an add-on element, but you never know. They might change up the way they do the armored pieces on the larger vehicles, and this becomes more of a dominant theme. Yeah, it's tricky to know how that's going to go down, but all in all, like, it's a nice touch, and I think it's good that it's there because it gives them a bit of that fantasy flavor. And for anyone that's into that, that's obviously a cool part of Dwarves in Space. And we have a little bit of it on the gun as well, although I think that might be painted on. I think those little elements there, I'm not sure, but yeah, we see the female ones here. And then let's see what else we got. Yeah, and just more of the close-ups on the other ones we've seen. So yeah, it's pretty fun, I think. So we'll see if they say anything about the male and female thing. I'll just have a little look here and we'll see. Maybe we'll just start here. So these hardy clone warriors from the core of the kin hosts, and unlike the Adeptus Astartes, they are not bred solely for war. These soldiers are citizens drawn from the populace of the holds, regardless of gender, job or social role. They're kin who have undergone rigorous martial training, yes, but they also have fulfilling lives outside of war. Okay, that's really cool. So there is going to be male and female ones, and they're part of the citizenry, which makes sense for dwarves. All dwarves can fight. All dwarves are going to defend their homeland, that sort of thing, which is a classic thing for dwarves. So that's cool. Hearthkyn warriors are often engineered with particular clone skins or whatever it is that allow them to specialize in combat, heighten senses, improve stamina, and the ability to see better in the dark, to name but a few. In contrast, others augment their bodies for battle with mechanical limbs and synthetic organs, held in equal status in League society. Ironkin also fight shoulder to shoulder with their flesh and blood comrades. Kin are kin, even in war. Yeah, so this is really great. I love all this kind of imagery for dwarves. It's such a cool thing, right, for anyone that likes it. So each unit of Hearthkyn numbers 10 to 20 strong and is led by an experienced Thane. These is it Doughty or Doughty? I don't know, whatever. Squad leaders have the honor and responsibility of commanding their fellow kin and are able to arm themselves with a variety of hand-to-hand combat weapons, including brutal concussion gauntlets and vicious plasma axes. Yeah, so it's pretty much standard fare, very similar to Space Marine equipment, probably with a little bit of additional rules or a bit of that sort of special rule Eldar flavor in there, for their high-tech stuff. Something, a combination of those two kinds of rule sets, or possibly Tau rule sets thrown in. But yeah, it's going to be fun, right? I'm really psyched to see these guys come out. It's going to be good. And if these are being showcased now, then they're not far away. The Thanes communicate with their squad with an aid of cybernetic implants, relaying strategic instructions from the commanders of the Oath Band to their units, who carry specialized heavy weapons such as L7 missile launchers and ETA or Etakan plasma beamers and Magna rail rifles. These units work effortlessly in conjunction with one another, regardless of their specialization. Yeah, okay, cool. So it's setting the scene, right? We're getting into it. We're seeing how they are, and it's exactly as you would expect them to be. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with this, and old He-Man here, and hopefully we'll see some more of their larger vehicles and so on in the future, because that's going to be like really cool once we see like how the army really looks as a total force. Is it going to be all elite, somewhere in the middle? I'm thinking somewhere around about the sort of Tau size in terms of units to large vehicles, something along those lines. I kind of feel like they said 10 to 20 per unit, so or maybe something more like Sisters of Battle where you actually do have quite a few units on the table. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what it really looks like. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit that like button, subscribe button. It really helps me out. And I guess I'll catch you on the next one.